Hello and welcome to CloudFolks HUB. My name is Bhavesh Atara. You are doing project ECS and this is our execution plan of project. We already completed step number 1 and 2. In this video, we are going to start step number 3, create ECS cluster. So let's start. First of all, I am going to start with introduction. In this step, we will create ECS cluster using Fargate. ECS cluster is a logical grouping where our task and service will run. Since we are using Fargate, we don't need to manage EC2 container host. AWS provides the compute automatically. Now here, I want to talk about this note as well. We created cluster earlier in video step number 1. Create ECS cluster. In your LMS, you will find out one video which is having title step 1 create ECS cluster. At that time, we created this cluster. Now, if you are following this whole video and you have your cluster, no need to worry about this. We are going to delete this cluster and we'll recreate new cluster, right? Because there are so many students, they don't have this, they deleted this. So for them, they have to watch this particular video again and this will be long process. So what I am doing, whatever cluster I have, I am going to delete this and I am completely creating new cluster. In this step, we will delete that cluster and build completely new one from the scratch to demonstrate the full cluster creation workflow. So here I have this step, how we can delete this. First of all, I have to go to the ECS. Look here, I have this particular cluster. If you don't have, you just need to skip this step. But if you have, you can delete this cluster. Here we have this option, delete this cluster, delete my Fargate cluster. Okay, now it is going to take some time. Now we are going to talk about how we can create. It is simple. You just need to click on create cluster. And here you have to choose only name, right? We don't need to touch any other option. We just need to select Fargate. Okay, my cluster has been deleted. I don't have any cluster now. Let me click on create cluster. Here I'm going to provide configuration name. I'm going to select AWS Fargate because this is what my requirement. And yes, of course, if you want to add EC2, you can do this, but I'm not going to add EC2 instance. Why? Because there are so many students who is having a problem of the charges and all this. So, maintaining EC2 would be a long process. So that's why we are just going to use AWS Fargate. We don't want any other monitoring option. We just provided our name and let me click on create. Now it is going to take some time and my cluster will be ready. As you know that when you create new cluster, you have only, we have Fargate facility only. And if you want to add EC2, you can. But for our project, we are just going to use only Fargate. Okay. So this is our cluster. And here we have detail about infrastructure, which is Fargate. So everything is done. We don't have any container instance, means we don't have any EC2. So step number 3, very easy, created our cluster. Now, step number 4 is deploying application load balancer. How we can set up this? You will get complete understanding, complete practical understanding in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.